A viral Facebook post led to a months-long investigation into animal rescue. ITMate saw the post and searched to find out what was happening inside the Central Indiana Rescue.
Yeah, iTeam's 8 Stephanie Zepelin shares what she's learned.
Come to mommy.
Stephanie Middleton and Pinky know better than most the bond between a dog and an owner, especially after what she says Pinky went through before she adopted her. Middleton got Pinky from a rescue called Hoosier Hooves and Hounds.
She couldn't climb the stairs. Her muscle tone was pretty much gone. She was really very skeletal, I mean, just all bones.
These photos show just how thin Pinky was when she got home, weighing only 37 pounds. An adult female boxer should weigh 50 to 65 pounds.
I was hoping it was an isolated event, but I found out since that it was not.
Middleton and iTeamate saw these photos on Facebook. They show dogs in small cages, contaminated food, and crates lined with animal waste. And we did not have to look hard to find more people with pets rescued from Hoosier Hooves and Hounds in poor shape. They brought Joey to a mega adoption event in Indianapolis. That's where Adrienne Embry adopted her.
We got paperwork, and it said that she was dewormed 2 months previous, that she had heartworm medication, I think 2 months previous as well, and then flea medication.
But paperwork from Joey's vet shows that may not have been the case. At her first visit, she had heartworms and fleas. And Embry wonders whether Joey was ever seen by a vet at all.
I am completely disgusted.
I did it anyway.
Volunteers we spoke with had similar stories. Debbie Jones volunteered with Hoosier Hooves and Hounds for almost a year. She says Kira Terry, the president of the rescue, got rid of any volunteer who questioned the way she treated animals. Jones helped take dogs to the same mega adoption event where Embry got Joey.
We let him, each use the restroom, and I was taking Splitter, and he had worms really bad. And I looked at her and I said, Kira, he's got worms. And she said, oh, well, that's for the new owners to take care of.
Jones says the dogs were kept in undersized crates for most of the day and night.
By the time I got out there at 4:30, the dogs hadn't even been let out. Their cages were a mess.
Volunteers told us they were the only ones to care for the animals. And the animals Terry did not like were euthanized.
I think the cash donations she was getting, I think she was pocketing it because none of it was going on the animals.
We went out to Hoosier Hooves and Hounds to talk with Terry. She said she closed down the rescue and had nothing else to say. But on the rescue's website, she wrote, quote, friends, family members, and colleagues have asked us if we're moving on because of these animal neglect allegations and more. The short answer is no, and we were turning down more jobs than we were taking on, end quote. Our investigation revealed even if Hoosier Hooves and Hounds had stayed open, there's not much that could have been done. There are no laws regarding animal shelters. The state requires a license to be a hearing aid dealer, librarian, or dietitian, but not to run an animal shelter. So we looked into what could be done locally. Neither Fountain County nor Veedersburg have any local laws on the books about animal shelters or animal cruelty. And Hoosier Hooves and Hounds had contracts with 3 different cities to help with their animal control. Since then, Kira Terry ended her contracts with them. When we showed city clerks these pictures, they were appalled. But for at least 2 years, Terry took thousands of taxpayer dollars from people in Veedersburg, Fowler, and Hillsborough to take in stray animals.
Having a shelter like this and running a shelter like this, she was just, it was all about greed.
Representative Linda Lawson worked on several pieces of animal rights legislation in the Indiana State House before retiring at the end of the 2018 session. We showed her those same pictures.
Number one is the kennel is way too small. This is terrible.
She says people who see things like this should call their county sheriff. The Fountain County Sheriff's Office did get a call from another rescue back in January, alleging Terry was neglecting animals. Their chief deputy said by the time they got out there, it was all cleaned up. He says that was the only call they got about Hoosier Hooves and Hounds.
We do need to be working in the direction of making sure that our pets, companion animals, are safe.
People who adopted from Hoosier Hooves and Hounds told ITMate they paid a $100 adoption fee.
That's my baby.
And now Stephanie Middleton and others wonder where that money went.
Because, I mean, the animals that I've seen the pictures of were in such poor shape. A lot of them in worse shape than Pinky was. I got lucky. I got her and she saved me. That's my good girl.
Again, we went out to Vetersburg to talk with Kira Terry, but she told us she had nothing to say. But today, after promotions for this story started airing, she reached out and denies all these claims made against her.
Talk about taking in money. She was also taking in donations as well.
Yeah, she was taking in monetary donations as well as donations of dog food, and she had nonprofit status from the state, which means she could have been eligible for state income tax breaks, but the Secretary of State could not tell us if she got any.
So what should people who want to rescue an animal know?
Well, there were a few regrets that Stephanie, the woman in our story, had that she wanted to pass along, and she says, check out the rescue, make sure they're legit, see how it feels, and then also make sure you get a look at where they're keeping the animals, see what kind of conditions, not just the animal you want is being kept in, but all the animals.
And you can make a report if you see something that does not feel right.
Yep, to your local county sheriff.
All right, Steph, thank you.